Here we go. 1, 2, 3. For the hall.
Here we are.
Here we are. We're the Hall of
For
Heroes.
the hall.
Just happens to be my birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
So it was, God, we woke up this morning. The boys were losing their mind.
Oh my God, they were so cute,
absolutely
though.
wild, screaming, jumping all over the room.
Yeah.
First thing Z tells me, I'm going to taste your birthday cake this morning.
Yeah, and I don't know where he got. I'm like, we don't have a cake. The whole time I was planning on getting you cheesecake. The whole time.
And it was a good cheesecake.
But he was insistent because what's funny about that kid is he does not forget. So it was like 2-3 hours later, he was like, we're going to eat a cake. And, no, buddy, we don't have a cake. And then it's, no, we're going to eat a cake.
Yeah.
Okay.
All day long.
Yeah.
But it was pretty damn good cheesecake.
But he was so cute, though, because that's the one thing about him is he's so funny that he was so adamant about having cake, but then he was completely fine about having cheesecake.
It's a
No
cake
big deal.
of sorts.
Yeah.
And
Oh, a cake of cheese. That's fine.
exactly. Oh, these kids.
So, we're in
We're-
steampunk.
That we are.
Why are we in steampunk?
Because Saturday we're having a really awesome Gears of Bloom first ever steampunk event for all of Heroes. We had a lot of really awesome feedback this week so far for people that have just been showing interest in Gears and Bloom.
Yeah, we've had a lot of really awesome feedback on that front. Gears and Bloom, we're really excited for the vendors. We're really excited for spoke to Fire Spinner.
Yep.
He's going to be there in between the vendors and the show Plethora playing live at the end there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've just been riding the wave with all the fun stuff we've got coming up. What brings us here today in our fancy attire?
For those of you watching, you may notice that we are going to switch it up on the podcast. We're going to be introducing some new segments, some new fun challenges, weekly things that we're going to be doing. We'll have some guests coming up here in the coming months too. We've got some people that have been very interested. And again, we just to give another shout out. So that being said, that brings us to our first segment, which is story time. Story time. On this, we're going to be talking about our first experiences with steampunk, to keep to the steampunk theme. So what was your first experience with steampunk?
I think probably when I was a kid reading Sherlock Holmes stories.
Okay.
That was definitely my jump start into it. And then I think there was definitely a few video games that drew my attention, specifically Dishonored 1 and 2, which were basically Steampunk the video game.
Yeah. What drew you to them?
It just seemed cool. I kind of like the early industrial era tone to everything.
Yeah. As a whole, or just like the fashion or the buildings?
A little bit of all of it, really. The fashion's definitely quite immaculate, but yeah, I don't know, it's fun. I think just the idea of human innovation and just like the things they aspired towards with technology of the time.
Yeah.
It was really interesting. How about you?
My first real experience with steampunk, I would say, is I used to go to this witches ball every year, which is in Michigan. It's happening in October. And every year they have a different theme. And so the very first year that I finally got to go, because I was raised with my family going to this witches ball every year. And so I always wanted to go. And so finally, my first year that I'm able to go, it's steampunk themed.
Nice.
And so I was really excited because I already had basic garb that I could just zhuzh up. But at the time, what's funny is this was 2010, 2011. And so steampunk wasn't a thing. Like nowadays, I feel like it's more popular, or at least it's more accessible. Maybe
Well,
that's just because of Amazon,
I
but
think it's definitely been a thing for a while. It's just, I feel like the steampunk community and like the Ren Fair community are a little bit separated.
yeah. But they're slightly together still.
Yeah, there's a bit of an overlap, but
Because
like,
that's the only place that I could find steampunk things before, if I'm honest. I couldn't find anything. We had to like special order things offline, off Etsy and everything to find stuff for that. Like I said, I luckily already had garb for the most part, so I was fine.
yeah,
But
I've definitely come to enjoy the aesthetic of it all.
yeah.
Like it's got a, I don't know, I feel fancy.
And it's cool because there's really cool things that people end up doing with the theme itself.
Yeah.
Like that party ended up being one of the things. So it's the ball itself is really cool because you pay for a ticket, you get dinner, you get dessert. It's like goth prom kind of thing.
Yeah, that I could see that being.
And you get all dressed up in whatever theme it is for the year. And then I usually got a hotel room and we shuttle back and forth. But that year they made the dessert was a giant industrial cake that made other cakes.
Oh, that's cool.
So like you put in the order and the cake comes out of the cake. Like it was crazy.
Nice. That's actually awesome. I'd love to see something like that.
That's my first experience with steampunk. I was like, holy crap, this is such a cool genre. And then I had no idea the dip it could take into obviously the D&D RPG world.
Yeah, it's weird because like in a lot of tabletop role-playing systems, I would say the only thing that's closest to steampunk would be like playing the Call of Cthulhu game, which is very steampunk. In fact, the whole concept of Cthulhu and everything really boils down to like the steampunk era.
Yeah.
An obscure alien, otherworldly creature that can turn you mad just from looking at it.
No, that's from like the 1800s, right?
Yeah.
If I remember.
Yeah, that's like the main eras. Like it's 1800s into the early 1900s where everything was just very industrialized.
Yeah, the more you know.
Hence all of the gears on your hat.
Yes. Yeah. I like this hat though. This is new. I specifically got this for the steampunk event that we have on Saturday. So it's all brand new. I want to zhuzh it up more, but this is what I got for now.
Yeah.
So I'm sure somebody will be able to help me zhuzh it up. The only thing that sucks too is the black glasses on a black hat. That's so smart.
Yeah, it is all one thing. Hopefully, at least in some like good lighting, it'll pop more.
Maybe I can have you paint it, bronze it up.
I could easily do that, actually.
Yeah.
Another weird fact that
Fun
we don't
fact.
talk about.
Story
I
time.
paint D&D miniatures. Yeah, I've probably painted everybody's miniature in every campaign I've run in the last 10 years.
Yeah, except mine.
I'll get to it, but I have a lot to go I gotta paint yours and Christian and Tracy's.
Yeah, you got a list.
Yeah. We're not even gonna talk about my backlog of 200 other miniatures that I purchased and haven't painted yet. The problem, cool things, you buy them and you're like, yeah, I'll paint that. Then you never get around to painting them.
Never do.
But then again, I'll get into these like random kicks where I'll just sit there with the paints and I won't stop for 3 weeks straight and you won't see or hear from me. And then finally I'll just pop up and
The
there's like
hyperfixation is
20,
real.
30 miniatures painted.
Yeah. No, you've seen me do that with
Everything.
different, just, whatever whole stuff I'm working on or whatever. I just disappear into my laptop for about 3 days and then come out and I'm like, hey, I built you a
She's like,
website.
and she's alive. Oh, no, she's asleep.
Yeah, especially when I do the 3-day binge.
Yeah.
That's usually, you have to go night for a couple days after that.
Yep.
Everybody who has ADHD or is neurospicy in some way knows what we're talking about. 100%.
No, it's actually one thing about steampunk because of the campaign setting that I've created, which is very steampunk meets high fantasy
Yeah.
in feel. So that was around the time that I quit playing Dungeons and Dragons when I came up with that campaign setting.
Why'd you quit?
Because Dungeons and Dragons didn't really have the greatest rule sets for firearms, for airships, anything that I really wanted to use for my world, it was very limited on what Wizards of the Coast actually published for it.
Oh, so you're saying that, so that's when you switched over to Pathfinder for the rule set for your world?
Because there's just so much to it that's already just integrated into the game.
Yeah.
It's even got a gunslinger class.
D&D doesn't?
No. I mean, there's like third-party books and stuff that kind of fill in the gaps, but a lot of those are just a little broken and not really well balanced. So let's say you're playing some third-party system gunslinger, you're going to be doing way more damage than a fighter or a ranger or anything else.
Gotcha.
So it was definitely the major reason why I switched to Pathfinder.
Okay.
That, and I don't know, I'm just a nerd with numbers, and make numbers bigger, do bigger damage.
So that's your hot take for this week, is that D&D
failed me as a dungeon master. Yep, that's my hot take. But we're not even going to talk about all the drama that's going on with Wizards of the Coast and all of their new editions of Dungeons and Dragons that have come out that were not necessarily popular or currently aren't popular in the newest one. Oh, that's an entire other episode in and of itself. We give Hasbro a shaky fist.
Okay.
How about you? What is your hot take on steampunk?
I don't have one.
Not even a fond distaste of corsets.
I like corsets. I just hate wearing them during the summer when it's Murph season and it's 100,000 degrees outside. And I don't want to be strapped into a corset all day.
And that's fair.
So.
That again.
You just like literally strapping your body heat to you. Although I don't know how you do it.
I don't know.
Fine in all that leather.
It's a long time of conditioning.
Okay.
I think realistically, the fact that I would bartend 2 to 3 nights a week in it all year long, it was just training me to be able to wear it in the summer, like out in the woods or wherever we're at for each different fair, whether it's Enchanted Forest is just a blessing the second you walk into that tree line and it's 15 degrees cooler.
Yeah.
But even at Murph, yeah, it was definitely a year of conditioning myself in that armor before each year going and just sitting in the sun in 85 degree weather.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, I have nothing against corsets. I actually really like corsets. Like this one is my steel bone corset, one of them that I'm wearing. And I actually really like the way that it looks as an outfit and everything. And right now, like wearing it, it's fine because it's not 100,000 degrees. And I also think my other problem with wearing corsets when we first got back together we first got together this lifetime is that I just don't think I was used to them again. Like yeah. I had gotten used to them growing up, going and wearing my garb all the time. But I hadn't been in a few years. It had been a while since I'd worn a corset for any length of time, let alone going and then wearing it for 9 hours a day, twice a day, every weekend for 4 months straight. So
yeah, you definitely got the crash course.
Yeah, my body's a little more used to wearing corsets again. Like, doesn't freak out. So I'll probably wear them more often.
Come on, nerd, we're going outside.
Yeah. And it's nice too because of when you wear your belts.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to have a steel bone corset on because then the belt just sticks right on.
Yeah.
And it's not digging into your body, it's digging into the corset. Because a lot of times when I don't wear my corset, then I'm just wearing my little...
I don't have that luxury with my armor. I do have that wide belt that I wear, but there's no overlap between that and the actual armor for the chest. It's just 2 separate pieces. More often than not, they'll just pinch if I bend the wrong way.
Yeah, that's when I don't wear my corset. If I just wear the little leather piece that I wear, and then I normally just wear the shorts and that shawl thing.
Yeah.
Because when it's super hot, I want the least amount of garb on possible.
Oh, yeah.
But then when I wear my belt just like that, that's why my belt is bent, actually, is because the times that I wear it like that, it just...
Yeah, that's actually how, if I'm not mistaken, my belt, like along the edges, it's curling outward. So if anyone has a good fix for that, please let me know.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's my, I don't know, I guess my hot take on... I really like the steampunk skirts, though. They're cute. They're easy to wear. So that's my steampunk fashion hot take.
I don't know, I'm getting used to the ruffly chest here. As you've probably seen me like going over it a few times. I'm just like, man, I feel like I've got the biggest bush of chest hair right now, but in a respectable way.
What's funny is you're like me with the goggles, is we're black on black, and you can't see.
You can see it better with the vest, but
yeah,
can't really see that from there.
It's like me with my feathers; they like disappear and then
into the flag.
Poof, and then poof,
and Corby, ladies and gentlemen.
They're gone, and they're gone, and they're... Okay, so we didn't technically do one this week online because we've been a little busy, but we usually do Would You Rather posts every single week.
Those have actually become a bit of a fan favorite for a lot of the people on our Facebook.
And some of our main crew, actually, I think, enjoy the Would You Rather post more than anybody.
The second you post it, I swear, it's just 5 people immediately commenting. I'm like, what happened? Where'd you come from?
Yeah, no, I love it, though. I love it. It's funny to see, too. We have a lot of dragon lovers, because every time there's dragons involved, I've actually been trying not to include dragons in the questions themselves, because more times than not, all of our crew will choose whatever the dragon is. They don't care what's happening with the dragon. They just want to be a part of it.
Who doesn't want a dragon, though?
Same. I watched Braveheart more often than not because I wanted a talking dragon.
Braveheart? Dragonheart.
Dragonheart. There we go.
I was like, that's it. Whoa.
Braveheart's the other one. Yeah. The war one or whatever, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never seen that one, actually.
You've never seen Braveheart?
Yeah, I always say Braveheart when I Dragonheart, and then then they find that out. Yeah, I've never seen Braveheart.
We're gonna have to fix that.
Are we?
It's a classic.
I've never seen Forrest Gump either, and I'm happy about that too.
You could live without Forrest Gump, but Braveheart, I don't know. The medieval warfare, it's pretty awesome.
Let's see.
Would you rather?
We're going light. When we're sticking to the steampunk theme.
Okay. Clockwork servants or stitched together monsters like Frankenstein's monster.
Okay, so do the Frankenstein monsters have electricity? Like they're...
I'm thinking, okay, so more of a flesh golem.
Oh, okay.
So just...
the one we fought.
Almost exactly like the one you fought, without the weird side effects. That's what happens when you homebrew your monsters. You get to terrify your party. You did get infected by it. You just had to do an autopsy on somebody who was. The eye twitch.
So many things that happened in such a short time.
Yeah, you'd known the party for 2 hours. I
just
want to point that out.
The 6-foot flirting British warlock turned into a golem, the flesh golem thing.
No, she didn't turn into the golem. She just had some traits of the golem that we don't necessarily want to rethink.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of things that happen.
But that's actually a really good thing too. Is like I never really stopped to think how much of the...
My answer is clockwork robots, by the way.
Assumed by your utter eye twitch at the thought of a stitched together flesh creature.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I guess like a lot of the old kind of horror stories were very steampunk.
I guess that would be true. That makes sense.
So when you think of...
A lot of those stories were written in that period of time. So...
Yeah, so everything from Frankenstein's monster to even Van Helsing and his gadgets and stuff that he had to kill Dracula and other vampires. It's a very steampunk time.
My favorite, though, is, and I don't really care if anybody hates me for this or not, is the Van Helsing Frankenstein is my favorite version.
I don't think I've seen that.
You've never seen Van Helsing?
Which one? There's like...
The only good one, in my opinion. The one with, what's his toes?
Hugh Jackman?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I have seen that one.
Yeah.
I was going to say, because there's like a lot of B-movie Van
Yeah, 'cause
Helsing spin-offs.
I saw a meme the other day that somebody was like, is that Boromir in a bowl cut? And I was like, it is. Yes, it is. The monk is Boromir, but he's got a bowl cut.
Yep.
That was great.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine if you've been an avid like Lord of the Rings fan and you didn't know about Van Helsing and you just are like, what?
Yeah. How long was it until he died in that movie? That's the real question.
Boromir? Or who he played in Van Helsing?
Yeah.
Did he die? I thought he lived in that.
I'm going to assume he died because he's died in every role he's played except for like maybe 3.
No, I'm pretty sure he lives in that one.
Now I have to watch it and figure that out.
I'm totally down.
It's actually a shame that he's just
itching to want to watch it.
He's just been like typecasted as this guy dies.
This one right here.
Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings. Can't think of anything else, but he's definitely died in everything else that I've seen. I can't specifically think of any movies off the top of my head, though.
The Rings? I thought he lived in Lord of the Rings too. His brother dies.
No, Boromir died. Faramir lived. Or are you thinking Faramir?
I thought Boromir was the younger brother that lived. That was
no,
like
Boromir.
despised.
Boromir was the older one. Faramir was the younger one.
Okay, I'll choose to believe you.
Yeah, because it's true. Yeah, Boromir was the one, like, he played Ned Stark in Game of Thrones.
Either way, Faramir in a bowl cut.
Faramir? Okay,
was
that
hilarious.
Makes more sense. It was really interesting seeing him in just so many different roles, too. Like, I feel like he's been typecast also.
I think there's
Like,
a lot of
if there's a
people-
fantasy movie, there's 10 actors or, like, you're going to be in it.
I feel like there's a lot of Lord of the Rings cast, too, that did other things, and people just forget
Yeah.
that they did other things other than Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Or there's other times where you forget that certain people are in Lord of the Rings. What's his toes from The Boys?
Oh, yeah. He's in
everything.
He's in everything. He was in, what was it? Oh, that Vin Diesel movie. Not Pitch Black.
Oh, Pacifier. No,
that's not what I'm thinking of.
he was
No,
not in
it
Pacifier.
was-
I was thinking of the one with
Oh, this is going to bug me now that I can't think of
Bruce
the name.
Willis. When he's
Riddick.
Riddick?
He was in Riddick.
Oh
Chronicles
my
of
god,
Riddick.
he is in Riddick.
He was the that shadow dude.
yeah.
Yep. And then he was...
That's another movie, like where it's like you watch it and you're like, God, I forgot you were in here.
Yeah, but he's in everything else, though. He was in Thor Ragnarok. He played the bald idiot. Behold my stuff.
And that's what's funny. He actually has a pretty good range.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough.
I think he was definitely built to play that role in The Boys, though.
Yeah, he does really well. And I gotta say, I like The Boys a lot more than I thought I would. I like the spinoff a lot.
I actually need to get
the
caught
College
up on
Kids
that.
spinoff. Mostly just because I feel like it's finally a show that shows different powers.
Yeah.
There's so many. We know all the different fantasy worlds out there and whatnot.
Yeah, comic characters are just...
No, not characters. I'm talking the powers. Usually powers are very generic. It's especially
like,
back in the
I
day, at least be like
fly.
telekinesis, fly, I'm strong, whatever basic powers it is. What I liked about The Boys, those were a little bit more generic. But the spin-off was really cool because they have different powers.
Just really obscure. Some of them could be considered like B-team powers.
Yeah, but like different takes on it. Again, just showing some creativity because I think that's just so lacking these days. There's no creativity in anything.
Also, I've been a big fan of the new Daredevil reboot.
Yes. Yeah, you have. I'm very excited to watch that.
I just wish there was more Daredevil scenes and less courtroom, because I feel like that's been the biggest issue with it. Is there
Well, courtroom scenes right now because he's not
True. He
doing
did.
Daredevil stuff yet, which we all know he's going to end up back in his Daredevil mode or
Going
whatever.
to assume that in the episode we're probably going to watch tonight.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm going to assume in that episode, he's probably going to put the suit back on.
With what happened last time,
Yeah.
can't really say you blame him.
It's been... What was it, the end of episode 3?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, wow.
That was,
I think I woke you up from a dead sleep. I was like, oh my God.
And then we watched it together the next night, and I was like, oh, wow. Because there was this whole buildup of it. I can't say anything, but there was this whole...
No spoilers.
Buildup, and then bam, and you're just like, Jesus. Like,
Yeah.
And also, it's great writing, because who wouldn't want to just be like, fuck it, I'm all in now? That's the thing.
The other thing is the follow-up episode, spoilers, with his niece. So in the comics, at least in recent times, the niece is the one that takes the mantle of that superhero.
Yeah, you did tell me that.
So I think they're probably gearing up for Young Avengers kind of thing. But yeah, so I mean, it's definitely awesome seeing the Netflix series brought back.
Yeah, I didn't watch it the first time around.
I think I got you caught up on some of it.
No, I'm just saying, like, the first time it was out.
Mm.
Like, when it was, like,
Airing?
The
Yeah.
first time I was not watching it. There's a lot. That's the problems with all of that stuff that got
Mhm.
popular, is there was almost too much, because I did start watching Jessica Jones, and then there was, what was the spinoff from that one? There was the guy.
There was Luke Cage, and then there was Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Which, to this day, I'm not a fan of that series. And it annoys me because he was one of my favorite comic characters.
Yeah.
But they did such a horrible job with the fight choreography.
Yeah.
I'm just like, really? This guy's supposed to be the master of martial arts? Really? No, Daredevil's a lot better in his fights. See, I like Jessica Jones because it was definitely a really good, like, psychological thriller for the first season.
Yeah, that's the first season. And I feel like that's why if I'm honest, I dropped off after the first season, is because it's like, what?
How do you follow that up?
Yeah, yeah. So
they went with what, like the whole origin of like how she ended up getting her powers, where this company came in from everything, and it's we don't care about that. What we just had our minds blown in season 1 with this like perfect villain.
Yeah, the villain was absolutely just on point for that first season. And then, how do you move forward from that? And I just never gave it a chance, if I'm completely honest. And I liked the guy who played Luke Cage and everything, so I was interested in watching
Luke
that.
Cage was really good. I feel like season 2 also tapered off a little bit towards the end. Like, I just wasn't as into it by the end of season 2, which sucks because it was really good otherwise.
Yeah.
But
yeah, see, and that's where it's like, back when I was watching all that was like when The Flash was popular, and it was only
God, on the CW
2 seasons out at the time. I think I don't know, I think that's over now.
Yeah, the whole DC CW universe is pretty much done now.
Yeah, I did Supergirl at one point too, and that was an interesting one. I don't think you would like that, but
I think I watched the first season because originally Supergirl was on, I think it was on CBS. It wasn't originally on CW.
no.
And then it got canceled and they just picked it up, and because they did like this big crossover event between Supergirl and like the Flash and Arrow. See, I really like the first season of Arrow. That was actually really...
Yeah, everyone says that. I have never gave that one a shot either.
See, it followed along the lines of the Netflix Daredevil series, where they tried to make it more gritty and like less superpower based, and just, this is a dude. He's in a fight for his life. He's got a bow. Here it is. I'd say it was definitely better than Hawkeye on Disney Plus. I did not get into honestly, a lot of the Disney Plus series for Marvel have not done it for me.
No, the only one that I liked so far that we watched together was Loki.
Loki was good.
Loki was really good.
A lot of people didn't like that one. And I think...
Really?
Yeah. Like, the first season, people really liked. The second season, I think people were just over it. But I liked the way it ended anyway.
I did too. I thought it was a brilliant ending.
I'm just waiting for the inevitable not Daredevil, but Deadpool versus Loki stare down. Because it's going to be weird seeing what they do with the MCU. And especially since they're doing Secret Wars.
What's that?
Oh, I'm going to educate you on this one. All right, so Secret Wars. There's been like 3 different versions of that storyline that's come out in the past 30, 40 years. And the one that I think they're going with is based on the 2015 comic run, where Doctor Doom essentially tries to collapse the multiverse. And in doing so, essentially turns himself into God so that he can take like different pieces of different worlds in the multiverse and create his own perfect world, which of course he's ruling over.
Oh my.
And I think it's going to be really interesting to see how that goes if they do it properly.
Are they doing that in like a movie or a TV series? Okay.
So there's going to be...
Is that going to be like a standalone movie that people can actually understand if they haven't seen everything else?
It's going to be like a 2-movie thing, because there's going to be Avengers Doomsday, which is going to introduce Doctor Doom, which I have a theory on Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom, but I'm going to save it for now. And then from there, it's going to be Secret Wars. So I think what's going to happen is he's going to do all the really bad stuff in Doomsday, and then Secret Wars is going to be where you actually get to see the outcome of that. And then they're going to restructure the whole MCU and reboot a whole bunch of characters, I think. That's the only way they're really going to be able to introduce X-Men into the MCU, because...
They fucked up that timeline so hard, yeah.
Yeah.
My
Sacred
God.
timeline.
That one is just so, like... What? At this point? Nobody has any clue.
Oh, you mean the Fox Marvel X-Men? Yeah, Fox did some things.
It did a number on that.
Yeah. And there's a reason why Deadpool breaks the fourth wall and specifically talks about the timelines in all of his movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's another little known fact about me. Huge comic book geek.
I think we're both pretty big. We're both pretty big nerds in our own right.
I think I try to encompass all of them as much as possible. It's frustrating, actually, how much useless knowledge I carry in my brain.
It's the only healthy way to live, in my opinion. You gotta be a little bit of everything.
True.
Because I feel like the people who are if you're too focused in one direction, you're not balanced.
True. And more often than not, somewhat uninteresting.
That too. Don't get me wrong. I totally applaud people that can sit and study a whole subject and be like really refined in it. There is something to that. But you also can know a little bit about a lot of things and be just as smart.
I like to think of myself as a man of culture. I have mastered the nerd culture.
Yeah. And you do have a lot of, you're the DM, so you have all of the rule books in your head.
Yeah.
And everything.
I think that's just a character trait at this point, was just being a sponge for any useless nerdy information that I can soak up.
I can attest to that, considering how you reacted to City Skylines. I would say, yeah. Because you came in and just were like, I'm over here having fun with my little trees and my little parks and stuff that I'm putting in and putting in my little roads. They're not perfect. He doesn't like my swirly death roads. He doesn't like those, so you just come in and you make the infrastructure, and then I get to come in and just make it all pretty.
I'll make the city function. You can decorate it when I'm done.
Yeah. That's what I spent hours doing earlier. What was that, earlier or yesterday when you were taking a nap?
That was
you didn't
definitely
sleep?
earlier today.
Was that?
Yeah.
I can't remember, because between you being sick, me being sick, boys being sick, I'm sick again. I feel like we're in this never-ending whirlwind.
Children are plague rats, and we are their victims.
Rats.
In fact, I think that's what we should just dress the boys up as for their garb for Murph. We'll just dress them up in little rat costumes and be like, go bite somebody and give them the plague.
Because they sure do in the wintertime here. Give us the
Mhm.
plague. My God.
Maybe we'll dress Seth up as a rat for this weekend for Gears and Bloom. That's pretty on brand.
He would totally get in character,
Oh, he
too.
would.
My
He would.
little
He's a
theater
little
kid.
actor.
Absolutely. Little theater geek of ours.
And Z would definitely follow suit. Or probably running behind him, yelling at everybody, run away, the rat's gonna give you the plague.
Just like they turned Bones, my dog, into a dragon today. That's what they kept
That's
calling
what it
him.
was?
Yeah, it was like, I can't remember what exactly they said, but it was Bones of something that they were named him. And that was his dragon name. And they were chasing him around, and he was chasing
That's
them
on
around.
brand.
And
Yeah.
it was adorable. I loved it. So cute.
Oh, they cracked me up. So I guess we've come full circle on this whole conversation, coming back to the boys. So I guess to end this episode, we've got our Gears and Bloom event on Saturday, and we've got our murder mystery coming up April 19th, and we also have a May the 4th Star Wars event, which I'm excited for that because the last time we did one of those, it was a blast. And anything else that I'm missing?
No, those are the next few events that we have up. We'll be announcing our monthly D&D nights
Mm-hmm.
schedule for the next few months here. And too, we
Yep.
have so Gears and Bloom is happening this Saturday. It's going to be at Hearsay
Mhm.
in Ann Arbor. We're going to have over 20 vendors. You can get food and drink
Yep.
and everything and come hang out and enjoy the steampunk atmosphere. Dress your best.
Yep.
Dress to the nines. We'll have a fire spinner later that evening, as well as a band. And then, we have our April 19th murder mystery event.
Echoes of the Fallen Blade.
Yep. So that is a murder mystery that's set in the timeline of the Hall storyline.
Yep.
Where Kurvka dies.
You must find my killer. Avenge me.
Yes. You have to help me, Corpy, find the killer and other things and whatnot.
No spoilers on this one.
Yeah, no spoilers. But we will have some videos coming out on that front. And then, our May the 4th event, that's going to be another vendor event. That's going to be
Yep.
a more just like relaxed, family-friendly, chill Sunday vendor event. Just come, hang out, see some cool vendors, eat
Beat
some
each
good
other
food.
with lightsabers. It's fine.
Yeah, whatever.
Maybe I'll have to
Dress
set
up in your favorite Star Wars outfit.
Yep.
Coming out.
We'll have our Qui-Gon Jinn lookalike Reuben present.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah,
It's going to be a lot of fun. We had a pretty busy schedule ahead of us.
Yeah, for the next few months, we do. Yeah, and we've got more in the works too, so stay tuned. Subscribe, follow us on all the socials.
Shoot a comment. Let me know how to fix my leather.
Yeah, let us know. And
Awesome. Well then. For the Hall.
for the Hall.
Be your inner child. Be the biggest geek you want. We love you for it. Please
Right.
join us. Come and be geeky with us.
Come be weird with us. It's fine here.